Welcome back, everyone. This is the Rockin' Beards podcast. It's your man, you know me, HSR.
Yep, and this is Jay.
And I'm just Syd. I'm trying to remain subdued today.
Welcome back. It's episode 23.
2 away from 25. 5.
Which is exciting for me, at least. I mean, you can make fun of me all you want, but fuck, I'm very excited to be at almost episode 25.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm just HSR.
And, okay, anyway. So, what are we doing today? Syd, why don't you tell us what we're doing today?
We are doing one of the masters. Well, we're not doing the master. We are reviewing the master. Heavy metal rock and roll classic, Mr. Alice Cooper, with his latest release, Paranormal.
Well, what did you think about the album, man? I mean, the cover and everything.
Well, you're skipping some parts. First of all, we forget to say this all the time, but if you don't really give a shit about us talking about anything in particular, hit the show more, and you can skip ahead to any particular track that you want to hear about. On that note, when did y'all first encounter Alice Cooper? It seems like a stupid question, but still.
Such a simple answer for me. When I heard that one song, everybody knows school's out.
And did you, bump him? And did you actually, bump his shit?
No, I didn't bump his shit. I know, 2 songs, to be honest. I wasn't a big Alice Cooper fan because, I was born in the 90s. He wasn't relevant, I found, really in the 90s too much. He wasn't, he was... Okay, so, everyone if we go into that time, the Masters, you'd say, which are probably the godfathers of rock, he wouldn't even be a godfather to me.
Really?
I would put him with, godfathers are Black Sabbath, Ozzy.
Yeah.
AC/DC are even AC/DC is the bridge from Queen Godfather and Dad. We'll even go through that as a joke.
Okay, yeah.
Because they're there, but who's everyone who did something and elevated, Aerosmith. Even though you might not like their music, they are because they did kind of a glamour meet with more of a depth rock where they have a meaning, but they're still cheesy as fuck.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I would say Alice Cooper. Maybe he lost a little bit of that rock and roll notoriety because he's a born-again Christian.
Yeah.
Which I found hilarious in this album because I couldn't take it serious.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I remember being... Okay, I never really was a big Alice Cooper fan because, honestly, my dad likes him. So, I don't like him as much. So his music choices bother me.
Oh,
I don't do what my dad does.
I know, it's lame, whatever. I have daddy issues
not.
sometimes. But then I got over it. And so, I mean, I had no issues with him, but I do remember being in the Christian fellowship once upon a time, and we had a rule that there was only Christian music could be played, and somehow Alice Cooper qualified. And I was really? And it was right around when he converted.
Oh, okay.
And he had, he had actually had a couple of albums at that point that were all Christian. So he goes from his whole career, which is no, that's on the bad list, but now he's a Christian, you can play these ones. And I was like, that was a little funny.
Which you got to remember about Alice Cooper in terms of legacy is bands like Motley Crue, Kiss. You get a little later, you go through all the new metal bands like Slipknot, Mudvayne, Gwar, anything with a mask or makeup, glam, anything. A lot of those bands wouldn't have had the platform to exist without Alice Cooper first doing what he did.
Wouldn't you say Twisted Sister?
Twisted Sister?
Better?
No, but Alice Cooper did it first.
So that's what he's saying.
But glamour rock was there before Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper very much started the train rolling on that whole thing.
So to my viewers out there who are listening, I would like you guys to actually comment and maybe inform us a bit, because I disagreeing with that. I don't believe he was the creator of glamour, but he makes sense though. What he says is making really sense. I disagree, but let's find out. You can subscribe and you comment. Thank you.
Shut the fuck up. I could say that I've never listened to an Alice Cooper record before this in my life.
But have you heard him?
I've heard the couple of hits, but I'm sure. Okay, I bet that there's a whole list of songs I've heard that are by him that I don't even know are by him that I've heard.
Like what?
I don't know. I'd have to hear
Just
them.
fucking with you today.
But no, honestly, his sound is okay. I never really tried before, so then this album came out and I listened to it.
Yeah, I enjoyed more the second half, and actually part 2 of it. You'll see why. But anyways, so how'd you feel about the cover?
It's just fucking lame.
Thank you. I found it fucking completely useless.
Well,
it's not paranormal.
Well, I think he's trying to be kind of creepy and weird with it.
I thought he was a Siamese twin.
I actually don't think he had any sort of real input at all. I think someone just took a photo of him and they were like, all right, Alice, we're going to use this as your album cover.
I'm going to disagree with you on that, because if it was maybe a new band and you're the way I see it is like this. If you're a new band, you have no idea what you want, and you're okay, we're going to try this out with you guys.
You know what it makes me feel like? It makes me feel like when, and I've seen it a few times with the old metal guys, when they're trying to relive their heydays, right? Yeah. And he's just trying to look kind of menacing, but he's really coming off cute. Like he looks kind of cute and soft and cuddly to me.
He's kind of a cute guy,
right?
I don't know if you.
Oh, if you watch his stuff and you see how he is on interviews and everything, he's a great new guy. But
and then it's called Paranormal, which I guess is supposed to allude to some creepy or weirdness, but I don't see it in this cover.
I actually have a better cover name for it. It should be called Split.
That would have been
better,
actually,
yeah.
and I think it might have even fit the. Alice, you should have caught up Jay. That's all I'm trying to say.
So we could all of us agree this cover was stupid as fuck.
And the name is kind of wonky.
But to that track number 1, what is it called, boys?
Paranormal.
Thank you.
Watching you while you sleep.
I want to just start this off talking about something I've noticed. This is definitely not the first time track 1 has been a title track, and I feel like I've seen this a lot recently.
No.
Throwing it out there.
I actually disagree with that because it's usually been... it is in the beginning, but it's not track 1. It's usually track 2 or 3.
Maybe I'm throwing in the rap reviews also.
Okay.
But I'm saying I've seen this trend of it's becoming more popular to do it. I don't know why. I don't see the additive value. I kind of get excited when it's deeper in the album.
Yeah, I agree
like
with
you're
that.
waiting for like the exciting title track. Okay. Because often it's exciting, and this track was fucking exciting. I had no idea what to expect, man. Like I'm telling you, I came in. What's Old Man Cooper? He's 69. What's Old Man Cooper?
He's 69. Some people too. Anyways.
And frankly, this was so cool. It comes in. It's got Roger Glover, who I believe is the Deep Purple bassist, and it's just a sick. Like the collaboration blends well. The music is fucking fantastic, and the song's interesting. It seems to be about when you're alone in the night and everything kind of feels paranormal and weird, and you're insecure and shit. That's what I got from this track.
Okay, so I didn't like the beginning because I'm not a big fan of long intros. Because it was the same repetitiveness. I enjoyed the middle because when he finally got into the vocals, it was eerie, it was slow, and it picks up a couple of times. It was fun. It wasn't the best track, but then again, I started to notice something. I don't want to talk about it right now, so saving that for a tidbit for a bit later, and it'll just open up everything. So for the length, it was good though. I noticed that they played a lot with the length in this album. Sometimes they're 4 minutes, sometimes they're 2, there's 3, but it wasn't the worst song I've ever heard, but it wasn't the best.
Praise.
So I gave it a 3 out of 5.
I dug it. I actually like the intro. I felt like it was kind of like a classic heavy metal intro, kind of like Metallica's Battery, or like it starts off soft and then it hits like right. I really dug that. I like Alice Cooper's vocals. He's got a really strong, really recognizable voice. I felt like the song veered off in the middle a little bit, like there wasn't a lot of focus. It kind of goes to like it feels like it ends and then it starts back up right towards the end, and then it just kind of drops off, which a couple of the tracks on this album do, and I felt that was a little weird. But I mean, I felt this record was really fun, and I thought the song is really fun too, so I give it a 3.5.
Really, I fucking love this song. You know what it was? It's his voice. I gotta say, his vocals on this track is the best performance on this album. Like, he comes in and he fits it so well. Like, it's soothing almost. And you listen to his voice, and I want to hear more of it. And I got really excited. I can tell you, I was like, man, this doesn't sound like what I thought it was going to sound like. And that effect he did, it blew my mind. And I kind of like how deep the track is. It got me really thinking, which I wasn't expecting, because the lyrics are... I got to give one credit to the old men. Their lyrics tend to have more wisdom.
It's also the time they're coming from, because they have to go out and experience life. A lot of us now don't have to actually leave. Like, you can watch people in a club dancing off your computer streaming it. It's like, I'm there, I'm partying at home. Like, that's also another reason why the industries are dying out. Like, concerts are not the same, because like with these heavy festivals that are out there for rock and roll, rap, whatever. Like, okay, perfect example is the DJ, the dance scene, the music scene right there. It's like, I don't have to go out to see Hardwell. I can live stream Ultra Music Fest. Like, why do I have to spend the $200-$300?
It's interesting you bring that up, because Alice Cooper's show, like I've seen him live, and he really brings, like, he has robots walking around on stage. Yeah. He has a different stage set up for every song. Like, he brings the show, and he really feels like it's worth it to spend. That's a part of what
this is the part where you brought up, which was perfectly said, glamour.
Yeah.
And he is glamour. He is Kiss. He is Twisted Sister. You're going there for a show. You're not going there for a rock concert. You're going there for a fucking experience.
So just chronologically, again, you're picking bands that came after Alice Cooper, just to the previous point.
Okay.
I know, because you asked the question.
No,
you
you're
should
right.
tell me.
No, but
So-
that's the thing. I have to see. I would have to
But
go out.
I have to say, this song hit me really good, and I give it a 4.5 on 5. I agree with your part that it got kind of weird in the middle, but I don't know what it is. The bass is alive. The energy is really good, and there's something about this song that could make me listen to it and get excited. And so it's near perfect.
Is it safe to say glam rock? You know, glam rock is to me is a show and dressing up and acting a part, right?
Yeah.
Could we not say that Elvis was the first glam rock star?
Ooh.
I wouldn't.
Um,
No, I see where you're coming from, but Elvis didn't like.
he was very
Elvis,
showmanship.
I think.
well, Elvis was restricted by his time, right? So he couldn't be shown waist down on TV, for example.
There's actually one of his famous scenes, if you want to remember, in Forrest Gump, where he's doing the whole like driving with his hips. That was very taboo back then.
It was
but-
very taboo, and he tried to break
Okay.
that, but like he couldn't go far enough to where Alice Cooper was putting on makeup,
but that's 100%.
and like
But
and beheading
if
people
you
on
really
stage,
wanna
and like
think
'cause-
about this, right? If what you were saying is that Alice Cooper paved the way for guys to take it even further, then in theory he's got a point that Elvis paved the way for Alice Cooper
sure,
to take
but
it there.
what here's what Alice Cooper did with his show. Like it was theater. He had people getting beheaded on stage. He had ghosts coming out on stage.
No,
he had acts.
You're
happening.
100%
So that's
right.
the shock
but
rock.
he-
And yes, maybe Elvis. I mean, in that sense, Chuck Berry did it too.
Well,
I mean,
here's another example. Okay, so like to another genre of music, which we're not going to get too off topic. I know we're still here for something. Helter Skelter
by the Beatles.
by the Beatles was the first ever, to me, was the first ever like punk rock song ever.
Sure, but I would consider that one of the first metal songs ever. See how we genre.
That's
How-
true.
I would
But-
go more with what you say than what I say
Yeah,
on that one.
But when I say shock rock and glam rock, I'm referring more to the spectacle that he put
Okay.
forward, and he was really one of the first people to do it the way he did it.
Was
And
Black
to-
Sabbath not?
Black Sabbath didn't really do that. Black Sabbath
Or-
went on stage and played. Tony Iommi stands, and I fucking love Black Sabbath. You know what I mean?
AC/DC does
Ozzy's
a lot of
Ozzy's
show.
one of my favorite singers. AC/DC came after Alice Cooper
Yeah, I
too.
know, you're right.
All
I
these
gotta see the
artists,
dates and
like,
stuff.
you talk about Kiss, you talk about Motley Crue, Twisted Sister, Poison. You go to the '90s, you talk Marilyn Manson, you talk all the black metal
Alice
bands.
Cooper was
Alice
the light
Cooper.
in the tunnel,
Yeah.
where this is the
Okay.
starting point of the race. But then
Exactly.
again, where if the reason why I brought up Elvis Cooper, because I found like he was the first one to introduce movements.
Elvis Cooper, yeah.
Oh wow,
Elvis-
yeah,
Alice
hybrids,
Cooper's father.
guys, hybrids. Elvis was the first one to bring in
Fuck, I
maybe
wish we were doing
showmanship.
hybrid theory, because I would say you would call that a hybrid theory.
Oh boy.
Okay, looking to the future. So track 2, everyone. What is it called?
Dead flies. Dead flies.
Infected by the venom of their vicious viral lies. All lies.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't care for the song.
I was not my favorite. Did you like it, Sid? You
I did.
seemed
I liked it a
okay,
lot.
Sid, start it off.
Well,
Hold it
I'm
up.
sitting here rocking out. You guys are like, "Murr."
No, it was good. Look, one thing we always agree on, us three probably, is anytime you play an instrument, anytime there's an effort with the musician, like a musical instrument, we like it. I'm just saying I didn't like the lyrics. I didn't like the
I liked
sound
it.
of the
It's
voice.
funny because I thought that the music was kind of lackluster because I think it takes, well, I don't know, for me the composition's part of it too, right?
Alright.
Is it interesting or not? The lyrics were actually deep. Like, this was a particularly interesting song in terms of what it's about.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it was the instrumentals didn't go good with the lyrics.
But, like, I didn't like the way he sang it.
Okay,
And
perfect.
I like, my favorite part of the song is the fact that he's calling out the fake manipulators out there. And it kind of, like, feels like a shot at the 1%. And how everyone's being fed lies. And, I like that shit.
Well,
That's
look at our
always a-
world today, like with all the things that are
it's
going
a fun
on.
song idea, but it didn't feel like the song fit what the music was, and it kind of was just a weird experience for me.
This is the track where he's almost like talking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have ever heard like the Velvet Underground or Lou Reed.
No, I haven't heard them, but I know who they are.
Like, I felt that his delivery on this track was very much in line with that, and I really dug that. I love the riff. I love the fact that it's only 2 minutes long. It's like
22
classic
seconds.
rock and roll track. No muss, no fuss, no bullshit. Comes in, does its thing, gets out. And again, like the rest of the record, I thought it was just really fun, really upbeat. And I wasn't expecting that from Alice Cooper either, because a lot of the time you find these old rockers kind of like trying to either relive their youth or trying to like give some kind of deep message through like really ominous and dark and slow music. And Alice Cooper just fucking went balls to the wall rock and roll and had fun
I
with it
think
and
he
didn't
had
try
fun.
too hard to be serious. And it comes through.
Maybe he's one of those stories that I don't know if he's clean now or whatever.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
is it?
yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
clean and he's new reborn Christian and
absolutely.
everything. And maybe that's what happened for him. And maybe that he's one of those stories where everything's going to turn out better now because of that newfound good stuff, and that's great. And that's why.
I think.
But maybe he wasn't into like I don't know what he was like. I don't know what
he
he's
was
into.
into some heavier shit.
Was he?
Yeah, he was a big partier. Most of them were.
Oh,
in
big
the
party. If he was
70s.
just alcohol and some weed, I don't know.
Heavier
No.
shit.
So he's doing like lines of coke off of guys'
Probably.
cocks.
Possibly.
I don't know about guys' cocks. Maybe some girls' cocks.
I mean, maybe. Hung out.
Well, the
But,
Thailand a lot.
Yeah.
Look, I gave this a 3.5 on 5, mostly because it is fun. It's not like it's bad. There's nothing here to draw me. There was nothing here to draw me back to this song. It was just kind of it came, it went, it did its thing, it bounced out, everything like you said, but it didn't capture me in the middle of it. But it's not bad. It's just.
It's not a plus. It's not a great. It's not a bad. It's a 3.
All right.
I give it a 4. I liked it.
And just like in Clash Royale, I'll use my fireball on you. Fireball. Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
So this track.
Fucking try to do the Pitbull thing. I don't know, man.
Dale.
So yeah, this track.
Mr. Worldwide.
Oh
Okay, you
God,
can talk now.
We're doing the Pitbull thing. Okay. So this track.
Cuba.
This track appears to be
That's where
about
he's from.
the end of the world.
Is it now? Can
'Cause,
you get more meta, please?
well, it's not like I have to get meta. This is what he says. There's a fireball in the sky.
Is there?
Then like there's like a kid who doesn't really pay attention to it because he's like playing with his toys.
Is the fireball the sun?
And then this other couple like tries to like they worry about it. And then in the third verse he's looking out his window and then literally the fireball hits the earth and he describes like the heat and intensity of the explosion. And then now we're all dead is the last lyrics of the song. So in a very literal sense, it's about a fireball coming down and killing everyone on the planet. And
Interesting.
I fucking liked it. This was a fun track. I really like the music. I like the energy. I could vibe to this. It's not like
Well, the CD is pretty nostalgia to a time and era of rock that we don't have anymore. A lot of our new rock doesn't have that fun stuff. And
Right.
I see that's why I like classic rock more than I like a lot of their new stuff because it was just fun. And we don't have that. Like, even with other music genres, we don't have that. I'm loving bands that are going back to an older style type of thing, and then they blend it in with the new.
Yeah.
And that's perfect. That's good. That's why I like a lot of these indie bands. Like, I really dug our last CD. You should check it out. Arcade Fire review was fucking great for me. I really enjoyed that CD because we had that new type of genre with electronical music and stuff, but they still had instrumentals. Like, even when their lead song wasn't the greatest to a lot of us, but it was still good. Anyways, we're keeping on to Alice. The thing is, I feel like I'm in the 80s. I feel like I'm in the 70s when I listen to this whole CD. And it's good. Like, I could put this on at a party and not have to worry maybe too much about a song.
right.
Yeah, like I really liked. It's just a nice classic heavy metal jam. Like you got the blues riffs, you got the thumping bass, like really mid tempo, really something you can just bop along to. And what I felt was cool too is like the effect on the vocals. He has kind of like a megaphone effect that reminded me of something like the Black Keys might do, or something like the Sheepdogs might do. Like some newer bands, some newer acts, some newer effects, and it he's staying relevant. He's not doing it in a way that feels forced.
Oh yes, he's not using auto-tune, and he's not
not
using
doing
like
it, yeah.
a fucking keyboard where he's having like a sound of like laser beams and stuff.
And in a sense where like he's broadcasting the end of the world, it really fit with the tone and the theme of the
But he
song.
made it fun.
Yeah, and he made it fun, and that's what
like-
I loved. I loved everything about what he did, and I love that he's keeping it modern, keeping it fresh, while at the same time throwing back to his roots, keeping that classic blues metal vibe that he's always been rocking.
Well, without going into a political thing about it and trying to get more deep into it, the Fireball aspect is basically saying that, we know that the world is going in a wrong way, but he's like, I'm about to die, so who gives a fuck? Let's just enjoy this
Yeah,
moment.
exactly. This one gets
Well,
a 4 from me.
I agree with him. I give it a 4.
I give it a 4 too. I really like your level of depth. I didn't even consider that. Good call. You added value. You are the man. You definitely have a
good.
What is it? Fucking paranoiac personality.
We're not cutting that.
Everybody's got vicious rumors dripping.
My thing when I.
Just do it, Sid. Tell us.
Go on.
All right, so here's my thing.
I want you to name the song first.
Yeah.
Paranoiac Personality.
Fuck you.
Dictionary. Yeah, no. So I don't know about you guys, but okay. I threw on this album late at night, and I was kind of like dozing in and out the first time I listened through it. And I woke up and this song was playing, and I had to do a double take to check that I was actually still listening to Alice Cooper, because the first verse comes in, and I felt like almost I was listening to like Kid Cudi or something.
No, calm down.
Almost. Just the way the vocals were. I know you guys are gonna.
Cudi at all. Like we're talking about. Okay, we're going complete opposite. It's like
Just
Oreo
because of the vocals,
Let
the way
him go
that they na 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 na, and it was like that really dancey, like don't. That really,
oh,
like,
you're talking
fall on
about the
floor,
music,
kinda
not
like,
the voice.
Well, both a little bit. I mean, look, obviously, I woke back up right away, and I was like, all right, damn, this is some Alice Cooper shit. But you know, I felt like in another time, in another life, in another setting, this almost could have been a club song.
I think it's the club song and the right type of club. It's
Yeah.
got a
This is a
dancey feel.
Thursday. This is a Thursday. It's per like your Cougars.
Do you know what the thing is? I found it really repetitive musically. I
Yeah,
feel like it
that's-
didn't evolve a lot. I like the lyrics again because he's kind of putting you in the mindset of a paranoid person.
This is a single on Strom.
But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I didn't feel this track. I thought it was so generic-y. It didn't feel authentic. It kind of felt like I like what he was trying to do with the song a lot more than I like what he actually ended up doing with the song. So like, I like his brainstorming on this one. I don't like the end result as much. It's not bad. I gave it a 3. I
Okay.
could definitely live without hearing it again. But
Cool.
if it came on, it's not bad. It's not like it annoys me. It's just kind of bland.
Yeah, it makes sense what you're saying.
Sure.
I kind of agree with him. It's not that it's a great song. It's a very blind, like, it doesn't have any more kickstart like the other 3 did. We're getting into the middle of the CD. It usually happens. Hopefully this is not the start of a blender effect.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we got to be careful, boys. Danger zone. Anyways. Thank you for that.
It's always fun to plug Archer in when you can.
That was Kenny Rogers, brother.
Phrasing, boom.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
It's
When I
always
hear
fun to plug
Danger
Archer
Zone
in.
now, I picture Archie. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Wow. I gave this one a 2.5 because I just didn't feel like there's any originality.
Shit.
Yeah, it was just boring.
I don't know, man. I like again. I really felt like it was like a modern take on a classic rock vibe. And
That's his
just the
whole
fact
CD.
that and I really like that little guitar lick that runs through the verse. That I really enjoyed that.
See, but this is the flaw of our generation in ways because, we can't enjoy, like, for me specifically, because I can't enjoy not him taking risk. Like, at 69 years old, you already have your name, you have your, why don't you try to catch some young guys?
Comment on the generation thing.
Yeah.
What really bothered me about this beat is actually what really bothers me about Mask Off by Future. It's that flute part doesn't change the entire song. And in the same way, this riff doesn't really change the entire song. And it got to me by the end of
Sir.
it.
Anytime there's a flute, a pan flute, any type of flute, you leave it the fuck alone.
That's
Because
right.
that makes it a song. And you know what the reason why? Sorry for the people who don't listen to rap and listen to his rock album. I'm going to just defend this fast. Mask Off is probably the great song of our summer.
What?
Because it's so bad and stupid that it makes it fun.
Sorry, Despacito. You've been
I said
over.
rap song.
That's rap. Daddy Yankee's on it.
Daddy Yankee's not rap. Daddy Yankee's a guy who just says
Reggaeton.
Kudo.
Daddy Yankee is still alive, and that's saying something.
He hasn't aged. He's a part of the
I know,
Illuminati,
it's
and he's
fucking
a part of the
scary.
Illuminati.
Okay,
No,
okay.
time out. No, I have to say this. No, without disrespecting anybody. He's part of the artist Illuminati. He's Madonna, Mariah Carey, and he's one of those people that drink
Pharrell.
and Pharrell who don't age. They drink the blood of little children in Africa. And they're stealing them, and they're just eating and drinking their blood to stay
So
young.
what did you give the song?
Did you guys rate it?
Yeah, I gave it a
You
2.5.
did? Okay, anyway. Daddy Yankee's the Illuminati. The song gets a 3.5 from me. Peace.
All right.
Uh,
Kid, do your
wanna
damn
do
pun.
your gay joke?
It's gone now. I've fallen in love with you guys? No, I haven't anymore. Fuck you guys both. Fallen in love with HSR.
Okay, the guy's 69. It's just worth taking that into consideration because A, it's funny considering what the song's about, and I have sometimes a childish sense of humor. And honestly,
Is that a teabag?
No, it's a 69. I put it like his dick
Oh.
there. And,
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I was ignoring
I see
that.
the imagery now.
And then,
It's really bad.
yeah, this is what he met this girl that he's banging, and he's fallen for her, and she's very dominant sounding to me. Like she's one of those
he has
badass.
like 7 wives.
She's a bad bitch of the rocker '80s era. I don't know how else to describe it. I can't find another parallel, but it's the equivalent of what a bad bitch is today, and that's what he
she's
wants.
the Courtney Cox of the 80s.
Exactly, and he's got that, and
Cougar
then
Town.
he has his fallen in love, and the Billy guy comes in on his backing vocals, and
Double teams her.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
He's falling in love with the double team.
if he's getting laid at 69, that's cool.
He's Alice Cooper. Of course he's getting laid at
But
69.
like, it's like if you have the desire to do it at
Bro,
69,
he's farting out nickels
that's what
and
I'm
dimes.
saying. Is if you still want to do it at 69, I can respect
He's
that.
shitting
I
out
mean,
dollar bills.
if you still want to be
Sexually
releasing
active?
music
Oh.
and art, I mean, there's still some kind of sexual feelings you get from doing that. I think that he's still getting laid, and he still wants to be getting laid.
He's just happy if his dick got hard. So
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's in a realm where he probably does need the Viagra at this point.
And it gets given to him.
Ah, for sure.
Like, he doesn't need to
Directly
pay for it.
injected into the cock, just like.
Anyway.
okay,
He's got a little pouch for it.
I don't know. So, like, this song didn't do it for me, though.
Woo!
It's
Sorry,
fun.
You haven't
Alice.
fallen in love with this song?
No, but it was fun. I don't want to, like, say it's bad. It's just, it's in a realm of music I'm not that interested in because it does feel a little, like, feels like we're on another genre here. Like, the ZZ Top influence is clear. And
Don't you dare talk bad about ZZ Top.
it's not they're bad. It's
They're
just,
sharp dressed men with
they
beards.
are-
You should love them.
I know, but
Yeah, you
at the
do
same
look
time,
exactly like every member of ZZ Top.
shut up.
He looks like the Wyatt family.
Their beards are, like, way more magnificent than mine.
Oh, 100%.
But they didn't start that way. They didn't
That's
start that
true.
way.
Oh,
And I had to do some trimming for this. It's fine. I'm
Easy
missing
duck.
a bit of it. But,
Keep going, man. You'll get there.
Easy
know.
Duck Dynasty.
so, like, all
Yeah.
I'm trying to say is it's not my sound. It was hard to get into it. It's probably really better than I think it is, but I give it a 3. It was kind of boring to me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I give it a 3 too because of. At the end of the day, we're getting into effect, and I brought it up, and we're slowly getting there. Hopefully, they can get it out, but it happens
Really?
though.
You're saying that you think this sounds like the last one? Because for me, they sound drastically different.
They are differently sounded in the sense, but it's getting to the same. He hasn't taken any risk. He's playing it very safe,
I feel
and that's
like
another part of the blender
I
effect.
would like
agree.
to just counter that for a minute.
Go ahead,
I think
perfect.
that Syd has brought up a valid point here. He's trying to come up with modern twists on classic sounds. And I think he's trying to showcase, like, the different types of classic sounds he can fuck with, right? And I think
Yeah.
there is a versatility to the various specific subgenres he's fucking with.
He's gone through such a dramatic change.
Dramatic.
Change in life, and becoming a new Christian. I would like to hear him talk about a bit more of his struggle right now.
But he's had
I mean-
albums to do that already.
Yeah, you got to remember, he became
But-
a born again Christian in the 90s. So we're talking like 20 years
But
ago.
when's
now.
his last album made?
I
What's the sense?
think he's been releasing
He's
music.
had at like when in 2005 he'd had at least 3 albums that had come out since he was a Christian. So I don't
Yeah.
want to be like he
Alright.
has to, and I don't know that I really
See,
want
I just
Alice
learned
Cooper
something.
to be like a full-on Christian artist because often that music gets kind of weird. It's like love songs to Jesus, and they sound like innuendo and stuff, and like it gets a little weird. And
Yeah.
I would much rather have Alice
Yes,
Cooper.
but with his whole new life, it's been 20 years since he started this new thing. I would like to see more. Like, come on, man. Those beginning years, I would love to hear the torment and stuff. And anyways, that's just me. I found he's starting to. You're saying they're taking risk. Maybe they're taking risk in the wrong
Sonically.
area.
Maybe.
And it's more the risk is more in the lyrics. I feel like it, and it should be more affected into the
Really, 'cause
music.
I'm saying that he's taking risks in the music and he's playing it safe in the lyrics.
I disagree.
See, I don't actually see it as either. Like, I know you guys said you've never listened to like an Alice
I
Cooper
have
record.
listened to certain songs. I
haven't.
had the best
So-
of
But
Alice
like
Cooper.
a record, like
No, I haven't listened to one of like his full records, and that's another thing. People are gonna be like, "Oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about." No, we don't know what we're talking about. We're giving an opinion and
Yeah,
a review.
That's it.
But his records do tend
Haters.
to be like he gives the songs the personalities, and he gives them like this. This feels like a classic Alice Cooper record to me.
Okay.
Like
That's okay, but
revamped for. And I mean, you talk about artists who are Christians singing about being Christian, like
Under Oath.
like listen, yeah, Under Oath. But I mean,
like
listen,
Under Oath.
like Slayer, one of my favorite bands. Like Tom Araya is he's not a born again Christian. He is a devoted Christian, and Slayer is one of the most anti-Christian bands.
You know, if Alice okay, so just as a fast throw out as a joke to make. So if Alice Cooper was a rocker, was a wrestler, and why I'm bringing that up is because I'm going to a show tonight, which my friend was supposed to be coming, but he's going to another wedding instead.
I have to go to a wedding.
Have fun.
It's
Yay,
not gonna be
Bonnie.
fun.
Mask
open
off.
bar.
I don't want to do it. I have to behave. It's not my wedding. It's her wedding.
This is now on film.
Bonnie's getting married?
immortalized
Well,
forever.
No, I'm
she's
just kidding.
a
Anyways.
bridesmaid, so.
Yeah, you gotta behave. Arm candy for the night. Anyways,
Yep.
so if Alice Cooper was a wrestler, and the perfect wrestler persona would be Shawn Michaels for him.
Yeah, I see
Because
it.
Shawn Michaels was the dirty boy, like disgusting,
see
play
it.
with my dick type of guy,
I see
and
it.
then new Christian again. And you should see all the shit he's coming out with now. It makes you like, I don't want to like you, but he has great matches still. But that's the thing. It's like we're living in a nostalgia, and I'm just hoping for more of a something
Yeah.
twisted.
Okay. And sure,
Fair enough.
sure.
I mean, I'm torn on this one because I really do. I love the jam. Like, it's a classic ZZ Top style song, super bluesy, super riffy. At the same time, it's been done.
Yeah, multiple times.
There's nothing new about this song. There's nothing groundbreaking about
It's
this
safe.
song. It's very safe.
So it's a 3.
Yeah, I'll give it a
giving it a
3.5 just
3.
because it's tasty, and I like
3.
Billy Gibbons.
But the thing is, my 3s right now are being kind. I gave
Right.
a 2.5. If something doesn't change, I will start hitting them hard.
And speaking of hitting him hard, let's go on Dynamite Road.
Evil growl. It's enough to wake the devil, man. It's enough to make him happy.
So, I was on the party bus, party limo.
Dynamite Road.
Yeah, I don't know if that is a thing that I'm supposed to know about, but I don't know what it is.
You're the wrong guy.
I don't fucking know, man.
Okay, so he's on Dynamite Road, and then they get into a limo with party girls. That's very provocative.
It sounds like the song title reminds me of Mario Kart.
And then they drive up the road.
Yeah, I
With,
can see that.
a
Like
sen-
second to last level in the
That's
single player
funny.
campaign.
I see it.
Sorry, guys.
And then it's like a series of like they can sense there's bad news bears about to happen, and then they crash and die. But the band dies, and he
Wow.
survives, but the Cadillac doesn't survive. And it turns out the devil is driving everything. And
Was he
oh,
going
no,
down
no,
to
this isn't
Georgia?
the song with the Cadillac. There's another one.
Fail.
Anyway, everybody fucking dies, and I don't know. It's just fucking weird. And the devil was driving the truck.
Down to
And,
Georgia.
and I was just like, what the fuck? I mean, it's fun. It's definitely not a boring song. It's just
I think you destroyed it for me.
fucking strange.
Finally you got some difference. Thank God you got out of that fucking weird zone. This is actually probably not a good song, but it's not bad. It's actually one of more of the enjoyable songs. I'm still feeling like he has not taken any big risks, but this is finally a different taste on his
This
song.
is the Cadillac song. So his
Holy
Cadillac
fuck.
fucking survives. And his band members died, and he was remorseful over the fact that
So he
his
killed his-
Cadillac died, but he was okay with the band members dying, but he was sad that the Cadillac had to go. Okay, go on.
I'm so lost. Who died and who live?
The band members died and the Cadillac died, but he was only sad about the Cadillac.
Can
Yeah,
a
because the
Cadillac
Cadillac's
really
like
die?
antique.
Well, it got destroyed
I mean,
Yeah, but we can rebuild her.
because it's Devil
better.
Road
We have the
or
technology.
Dynamite Road.
Spent $6 billion.
Anyway, that's what happened. I'm telling you the story of the song.
So just like Cleveland, boom goes the dynamite. Okay. Sid,
It's
would you
like-
like to add something to this?
Yeah, no, I'm glad the song's a documentary. This is a fucking party song. Like, it's gonna be great live. It's got that fucking snare roll. It's gonna get people moshing. It's gonna get people dancing. It fit the title. I don't think it was meant to do much more than that. I know you're focused on the ridiculous lyrics. I mean, look,
It's an
it's fucking
interesting.
Alice
It's
Cooper.
different
Like,
Hold on.
because
I think it's an interesting criticism of temptation and the effects of living fast and dying young in a very like old grandfatherly type of way. I actually think it's got a point to it too.
yeah.
It's just kind of a bamboozling experience.
Of the whole record, this is the one that reminded me most of School's Out.
yeah.
Okay.
The riff, the way it chugs along, the ridiculous lyrics. Like, I dug it. This one gets a 4 for me just because it's fun. It's short. The same thing. Like, it comes in, it makes its point, it leaves. It doesn't need to be like...
Fair. I gave it a 3.5 because it's okay, but it's definitely not my cup of tea.
I gave it a 3.5 because I just enjoyed it a bit. Not too much, not too bad. It was good. It did a good job. Because in Russia, we like songs about dynamite.
And private public
Breakdowns.
breakdowns.
The Secret Service.
I got the need for more cowbell.
Honestly, the cowbell, I heard it and it like resonated, and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing in the eyes of people.
Christopher
I just
Walken.
find it very noticeable when it's there, and it takes away from me being able to listen to the song. And it's not like it's constant; it's intermittent. It's like 3 or 4 talks, and then it fades out, and then it fades back in, and it just randomly keeps appearing throughout this song. And that was the biggest focus for me, more than everything else. That I couldn't get past the cowbell so easily.
So the good thing apart about me talking now is I didn't hear the cowbell too much until he just said it. So I generally enjoyed the song. It didn't have any meaning to me. I looked at the name, I laughed, I just thought of Britney Spears. At this point I wasn't really looking for lyrics. I was looking more for an experience. Is this a thing where I can have a drink with my buddies? Or is this where you should be the typical stoner person and lie back? Or is this the type of person that could put this while you're driving? This CD is very up and weird because it's like it could be all three at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, which is not a bad thing. It's a great thing. But then again, there's a lot of misses because these see it differently than I do. I'm finding he's trying to capture his old time. Not like he's trying to remiss about his thing. It's more of like I'm trying to bring back this genre of type of music. There's a lot of power ballads too.
Really?
A lot of times I feel like in the beginning of the album there was a lot more of like a heavier tone.
I was actually because we get to whatever spoilers, but like I felt like there's the one power ballad happens right before the end. And the rest is all just like really heavy hitters, like fast metal jams that are just
sometimes I felt like there's a lot more like he was trying to put in like he was trying to bring a very
what is a power ballad to you?
I would have to find one of my songs and go into it. At this moment I can't think of it.
Because for me, like a power ballad is like the slow, like confession of love, like.
I'm not thinking of that sense. I'm thinking more of like a heavier set tone, like you said, and like a deeper meaning.
Because a ballad is like.
Right.
A ballad is like.
Maybe that's my definition of a ballad is completely off then.
Maybe.
It's okay. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, this song, I like that it was cheeky, kind of like a really major riff and like a really goofy kind of feel, and talking about like celebrity breakdowns and like.
Maybe he's making fun of them.
Yeah, he's making fun of them. That's what I felt like.
It really is about the Britney Spears effect.
Yeah, and so I enjoyed it in that sense.
I could live without it.
I felt like musically it was one of the weaker tracks for sure.
It was fun though.
It's fun. It's definitely fun. Like the whole record is fun.
Yeah, but I
That's
feel
the
like
thing.
this is one of the least fun of the funs.
Yeah.
I give it a 3. Like I can't.
You know here's a good example. You know when you have the songs that are not as fun as you're saying to us, those are usually the ones that are going to be the singles.
That's probably true. If
It's the safer songs.
But like this to me, it's kind of like there's nothing to. Draw
It's
me
too bad there's no
back.
music videos for the CD. We didn't bring that up because usually we do.
Yeah.
And if there was a music video, this would probably be the best one to do because it'd probably make like the best joking one. You'd probably have some chick in the middle of the ground shaving her head, and we'd be laughing hard.
It'd probably be him dressed up as her.
Yeah.
And just like
Yeah.
being all dramatic and shit. Like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or
Long
maybe
wig.
he's making a joke, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of bland. 3 on 5.
Yeah, I give it a 3 as well.
3.
Okay. So,
Anyway, so holy water, Batman.
that's funny. Jay, how did you feel about Holy Water?
Fucking useless. It was
What?
a shitty song for me. It was boring.
Really?
I didn't like it.
Shit.
I just didn't. Whatever. It was like one of those songs where you just get to repeat Holy Water a couple of times and hopefully he hits a home run.
What?
Yeah, that's how I
there's
feel.
more to this to me.
Oof.
Like I said, I don't go into a CD looking for the whole lyrical experience because
but
I know I
even-
have you and
even
him.
the energy, man.
The
It's so
energy
fun.
was, but it was
It's just like-
bland to me. It was just like
You know,
I didn't enjoy it. I gave
could
it.
like vibe to this. On top of that, there like I can vibe to this. I'm just saying. And then like
Flip
he
your hair.
kind of
If I
like
had.
I feel like there's a bit of a transition. He starts off kind of like saying he finds his salvation in women, and then by the end he's transitioned that into the idea of loving God.
And priest.
And I think this is the song about his struggle to overcome on the religious front. This is what you were looking for.
But it
earlier.
wasn't. It wasn't delivered the way I would like it. And that's a personal effect.
That's fine, but just to point it out, I think that's what this was. It
All
was
right.
just kind of like a testament. I used to be that way. I am now this way. Holy water, blah, blah, blah. And I thought it was really fun. I thought the energy was cool. His delivery was great. It was personal. I give it a 4.
I gave it a 2.
Yeah, I thought this was like the catchiest song on the record for me personally. Like I love the chorus. I love that fucking like almost old school Stevie Wonder horn driven fucking riff in the beginning.
Right.
I love the way he brings that back in the chorus. Like I fucking dug it, man. It was vibing. It was fresh. It was totally different from the rest of the record. This one gets a 5 from me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
this is
cool.
for me. This is like one of the strongest
2,
songs.
4, 5.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Hey.
You guys are a bunch
Count.
of rats.
You're a fucking rat.
You're a rat.
Are we the rats?
Are we?
Hold on.
Are we?
I
Say
like
that again.
cheese.
All right, guys. Are we the rats?
I like cheese.
I think he is. I think he's saying we're all rats.
I think he's saying we're all rats.
And that life is futile and it's just
Fuck
kinda
you, Alice.
cliche.
Dick.
But yeah, that everybody's
Fuck you for
a
that 2
rat.
minutes and 30 seconds.
Again, I think it's like he's now like from the perspective of those 1%ers he was shitting on earlier on the album, and now he's just kind of laughing at how everybody's a rat. But I feel like he includes himself in the common man, which I find it hard to relate to Alice Cooper, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But he does include himself in this. He's a rat in his mind, and I think that's an interesting perspective given the level of his stature. But this song was bland. I found it really like.
It was just one of those songs that you tried to be fast paced and keep singing fast, and
And
it
it
was
was-
like, eh.
As Syd would like to say, it was a short rock song. It came in, it hit hard, it came out.
But it didn't hit hard. It missed it on purpose.
Kind of.
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
he
look-
tried something. Go on.
Look, this is a short song. It came in, it did its thing. Fucking no muss, no fuss.
No
I
muss.
actually, I didn't feel amazingly about this song. Like, the record didn't need it. But, like, it's cool, it's fun, it's catchy, but it's not like there's already 2 or 3 of these songs elsewhere on the record. I didn't feel like they needed to do it again. Like another heavy blues jam that just comes in, does its thing, no muss, no fuss, gets out, peace.
But this one was even just more boring.
Yeah, it was a little more boring. But, like, again, his vocal delivery is great. Alice Cooper is just a great fucking singer, and whatever.
That doesn't make this. This is this particular song happens.
It gets 3.
Yeah, I gave it a 3. I can't like shit on the quality. Like as Jay would like to say, when they play their instruments and shit, you know, blah blah blah, and it sounds okay, and so it passes. But
Well, welcome back, guys. This is HSR, and I really dig this
we're
song.
like all the way in the middle of the fucking podcast.
I really like the song because
the song.
because
claps.
the song
Fucking
song
killing me.
had a rat, and when I was like 10, I had a couple of rats. It was pretty cool, you know.
I
I
was
really
in my
enjoyed
20s.
it. I had my 20s too. I had some rats,
Fuck you.
and I like to say things like these things because I like to give reviews, and I gave it a 2.5.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright,
Rats.
fuck you. The sound of A. That's
The Canadian national anthem, the song of A.
Hey.
Jay, how'd you feel about this song?
The sound of A is probably the sound that put me to sleep.
What?
I even didn't like the song. It was like, it was very monotone for me. It was very
Should have been called The Sound of Z.
Oh,
Z,
come
Z,
on,
Z,
no,
Z,
this is a
Z,
good
Z,
song.
Z, Z.
It might be a good song,
Did
but
you
it's
hate
just...
it too, Sid?
I didn't hate it. Well, here, you want to finish?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, you did. No, I'm just kidding. It was just bland. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was just boring. That's it. It might, like I've said millions of times, I leave the lyric stuff more to you guys. Like, if I can find something to make it more meta or more funny, I'll do it. But at this CD, I just really just wanted to experience it because, you know, we had a week and a half to do this CD because it came out a week ago. And it put me to sleep every single time I listen to this. This will be on my sleep playlist.
I was waiting for the power ballad to happen. I was expecting it, and it just like this
It
didn't
never showed
hit.
up.
Well, this would be it, right? But like in the way that an old school classic rocker, like I expect them to hit me with like a fucking tearjerker,
Like
like
your best shot?
Mama, but no, like Mama, I'm Coming Home, like Ozzy, that
That's a
one's
great
just
song.
like a fucking the standard for rock and metal power ballads in my opinion, and like, you know, usually you get a little bit more emotion, a little bit more feeling. This one's just kind of like a by the numbers, slower track. It's got the fucking wind chimes for some reason. It's a little bit overproduced. I felt like they spent a lot of time trying to make it sound good, as opposed to just like focusing on the emotion that a slower song like this is supposed to bring. So it's not bad. Like it's still a good track. It's a cut above what maybe a newer band coming into this genre would maybe release.
You know what would have been a good idea for him is like if he had a new, like someone new,
Yeah,
like a newer singer, jump on the album with him and do like maybe a co-album.
that would be cool too.
That'd be a great idea. So like
Instead of getting these older names coming in and they're just kind of rehashing.
Man, I like this song. This song.
I can tell you like the song because you got
came
angry and
in,
shaking your head.
like smooth. It was
Got a
very
little red in the
different.
face there, starting to match his sweater.
It was very different from like the rest of the album, which I happen to like. I thought it was a cool sound, and I thought it was interesting because I kept trying to figure out what the fuck is the A, right? What is the sound of A?
He's actually Canadian. You didn't know that.
But
This is a Canadian song.
my theory is that he's screaming,
Is it?
This-
Oh, really?
like
Like Monty
it-
Python.
Well, no, but if you look at what he's talking about, it's like people getting shot and violent crime and a couple of other tragic type shit. Like, it's actually really morose lyrics, right? And it kind of alludes that, like, he's, like, I picture him inside hearing the screams of the shit happening around him. And so if you were to write out a scream, it would just be a bunch of A's, right? And so the sound of A. And
Maybe he was dying while he wrote it. Yeah, but he wouldn't bother to write
like,
out. He would just
like,
say it.
with that perspective, I got that emotional experience that you were describing listening to this song, because I thought it was like, it really made me think and feel, as opposed to a lot of the rest of this album, which was fun, but this made me feel, and I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. I gave this one a 4.5 on 5. I thought it was like, it did get a little draggy. It didn't necessarily feel, it's not perfect, but I think it's a step above most of the tracks on this album. I think it's right there with the
wow.
first one.
Okay.
For me, but if you think about it, the two songs I really liked are the first one, Paranormal, and this one, which are very comparable in sound.
Sure.
I give this a nice 3.
Okay. Okay.
Oh.
But that was it. I was expecting a little more.
Fuck, man. But it was really official and really like, damn, that
He was using his HSR voice.
No, I wasn't. I just yawned.
was his best
what
behind
did
the
you give
actor's
it?
studio. I mean, look, I like the track, like the Western kind of feel, I guess. And I didn't hate it. It gets a 3.5 from me.
Just have to give that 0.5, eh? So
Just
what did you
gotta
give
give
it,
it
a
that
4?
4.5, man.
So 3.5, 3 here. You know what the song says to me?
That it's a genuine American girl.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look and feel alright. 'Cause my mama says
No?
Yeah.
This song is what?
Fucking weird.
Why?
Why?
Because it just feels like such a dated categorization of women and how women feel and how women are
He is 69. He is 69.
I don't
He is-
agree.
That's it. And I don't know. It's just I felt like this song could have like passed on an 80s album and gone into the annals of rock history, forgotten and
But you gotta
undiscovered.
remember something. When you're reviewing albums in general, you gotta look at the artist, and he is a rock legend.
Yeah.
And his genre, his heyday was when back then 70s, 80s, whatever. He was the popular guy, and now he's not as popular. He has his fellowship, and they're always gonna buy a CD, and then we'll have those random like us. We're reviewing it. Let's be honest. We looked at the list, and there was nothing that screamed out to us, so we chose him.
Okay.
And I'm happy to choose him. It was nice. It's kind of like us meeting a classic version of a CD, but with a newer CD.
But,
But-
but when it comes to the context of the song, I think it's like for me, I think we disagree on perspective.
All right.
So I'm like I look at this like he's trying to put himself into the mind of a lady who feels the need to use her aesthetics for validation and the pressure, and it almost implies like it comes off like this is just the norm, what I have to do. And then by the end of it, it's like you kind of like, but I don't really want to do this. There's so much more to me. And the thing is, I've seen this happen in real life. I know it's still a thing. It's not like this problem has disappeared. Now, maybe it's not everybody. Maybe there are less women who do this than back in the day. Maybe a whole bunch don't wear makeup and stuff. I'm not trying to imply it, but I've seen the particular girl he's talking about in my real life. And I know that it still exists. So maybe he's just trying to bring some attention to what he feels is a social issue.
But for me, it's like, first off, who is he to draw any sort of attention to the problems of a young woman?
He's a
Like
feminist.
he's a fucking 69-year-old
Yeah, but
pass it.
but
Like,
what if
it's the same to me. It's the same thing. It's not on the same level, but it's the same thing as like a bunch of old white men deciding the history of abortion. Like, first off, who asked you to do this? Who asked you to talk about how
people.
women feel? Like, how the fuck do you know?
so
This is so irrelevant to me. And it's
but
so
just
just
to,
like
like,
uncalled for
counter
and
that,
so unnecessary.
from a guy who is formerly perceived probably to be a misogynist to go up there and say that my understanding and perspective of women has changed is
But
actually a
I
really
don't think
powerful-
it has. This still feels like, and look, I love Alice Cooper, I respect him, but this song still to me comes from a very strange place. And I mean, and when I already said that I felt like a lot of this album was trying new and modern things, and I feel like this specific track,
Fail.
not just fails, but like negates that and throws the rest of it back to a time long gone and a time that we should be moving forward from. Like, we don't need old white men singing about the problems of young women. We need young, like, look, if Miley Cyrus or if
Does
or
he have
if Kesha
daughters?
or even Madonna or even
Does
fucking
he have daughters?
I don't know if he has daughters.
Maybe he has daughters or granddaughters now
But like,
that are going through something, and he sees it, and he wants this as his message
So-
to them.
Is he their mother in the context then?
But maybe their mother's not.
but what
I
if
don't- I don't know, man.
What
It's-
if he's talked to, but what if some young girl said this to him, like directly? This is an anecdotal experience he had that inspired him to write this song because he noticed a pattern.
Maybe, and
And-
if so, I apologize
and look,
both for that young girl and to her.
Look,
But-
I don't know. Like, it might be
Misogynist.
that a 69-year-old white dude doesn't have the like authority per se to approach
It's
a
not even
subject
that he doesn't
like
have
that.
the authority; he doesn't have the experience, and he will never have the experience.
But like,
It's
have
like-
you ever heard Lil Wayne's "How to Love"?
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
I know it's a strange thing to pull to, but what I've always admired is you could tell that Lil Wayne has talked to enough strippers in his life to be able to contextualize a stripper's point of view on a subject.
But Lil Wayne is also coming from a place where he wants to learn how to love. Like, he's
Maybe
in
he's a
that
stripper.
track. Like,
And
he's
maybe
He's been the gangster. He's been the thug since he was like 9 years old.
He's been like the super rock star, and he's been on this long ass quest of redemption in the later part of his life. Maybe this is just his attempt to do something like that.
But why is it in such a snarky, like satirical, like almost like brush away sense? Like
Maybe he's the walrus.
Maybe that's the point.
Maybe he's the Eggman.
No, but maybe that's the point. Like maybe it was a miss. Maybe like his intent didn't actually deliver correctly. But I don't think he was trying to do a wrong thing. I think he was trying to do something interesting, and it failed.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing here.
You don't know? Okay.
Of course I do it. I am the Eggman. I am the walrus.
Thank God.
Sure. Anyway,
Yeah,
look,
I'm
the
not a
song
singer,
sparked a conversation, and it sparked a
That's his
relevant
whole thing that
conversation,
he
which
wanted
is
to do.
cool.
But
I feel like it did it wrong.
Maybe
It
this is
approached
what
it.
he exactly wanted. Maybe he wanted you to get. Maybe he's doing this to troll.
maybe.
Sure, and I mean, look, this feels like that Adam Sandler movie that nobody asked for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Like,
pretty much every single movie he's done in the last 10 years.
exactly, and that's what this song feels like for Alice Cooper. Like,
Okay.
this one gets a 2 from me.
I give this
I'm
a
not-
4.
Oh, fuck off. I gave it a 3. Just
Yeah,
like
but
2,
if
3, 4.
if I'm right, then it has a lot more measure to it. If you're right, then it's probably worthy of a 2. So I think the
Okay.
intent behind the song really.
Tell us who's right, internet. We need to
Yes.
know.
And then Jay.
No,
You
you
gave it a
don't. You
3.
don't get it. I gave it a 3, but
Oh,
you're not
okay.
getting any witty puns after. You and all your friends can fuck off.
And I feel like this was his "fuck you 1%ers" anthem track that he was trying to write. That's what I took, because there are a few lines that allude that the you and your friends are the system, and that fuck
the
you and
rats.
all your friends. No, well, this is the rats fighting back against the other folk, because the rats are the peons, and the you and your friends are the assholes on top, not the peons. This is the peons fighting back. This is like that punk rebel song, except that I feel like it more or less missed the mark of being a really good, aggressive, fun song for what it was trying to do.
It was like one of those old classic rock and roll songs from the 70s or 80s. Very upbeat and pushing and fun with it. Like, I liked it because he found like a deeper meaning, I guess. Whoopty fucking do. It was just it was a fun song. I just found it weird because it ends the CD on such a high note.
Yeah.
Usually, and sometimes the CDs lately have ended with like more of a question.
Yeah.
And this one's not leaving you a question. This is more of a statement and an answer, which is kind of nice.
Okay.
And okay, so another thing is the CD technically has more than 12 songs, but an actual CD with new content is only 12 songs.
Yes.
This is technically the last song.
Yes.
We're not going to review all the live stuff. We'll have
No.
a general discussion about them
Very
Oh, we
quickly.
will?
very quickly.
Sure.
Yeah,
Jay, I didn't listen to them, so.
I did. I
They were
listened to them,
live.
but I really don't give a fuck about all the live stuff anymore
Anyway,
because it's all his
But
hits.
this track, I don't know. I actually like what you're saying about the finality that it gives, but it doesn't make it more fun.
No, I'm talking about like. Sorry for that, but when the playing of the instruments, it's much
Right,
more
right.
fast paced. That's why I mean it's more fun. And the lyrics are not fun.
To be fair,
Go on.
all of the songs under 3 minutes are under 3 minutes because they're fast paced, but otherwise kind of feels very similar in structure to the other
Sometimes
ones.
I feel like I've been cheated with those 2 minutes and 30-second songs. I
Yeah.
really hate 2-minute songs.
But I mean, look, this song is a fucking fast rocker. It comes in, it does its
There it
thing.
is.
No muss, no,
There it
no.
is.
But like, I like the way that it ends. Like you said, on a triumphant note. Like it doesn't leave you wondering. It doesn't kind of fade off or have this sort
Kinda
of
makes
like
you think, is this
ominous
his last
like
album?
whatever. Like it's just a fucking it's happy. It feels like a Twisted Sister jam, just like a big fucking crowd chorus sing along.
This is probably fun live.
Yeah, probably really fun live, and I think it's a great way to end the record. Like a lot of the records we've been reviewing recently, just like the ending is weird and it feels like it's trying to be deep. Just
It's been
to
a
be
while
deep.
since we had a good ending. To be
Yeah, and I
honest.
think this one's it's a period. It's not a fucking question mark.
Yeah.
Like, and
Alright.
that's it. Open, close.
Here's the live
book
shit.
done.
Enjoy it.
Yeah,
Paranormal.
So what'd you give it?
3.5. I think it's a
give
big
it a
bet.
3.5 too.
This was one of my more enjoyable ones. I finally give a 4.
Because I just
Oh.
want to say, be all that much. Let's say that song placement was excellent. The song doesn't become more excellent.
Well,
because
this is
the
one of
song
those
placement.
CDs where I actually
For
found
me,
the sign
at least.
placement didn't really matter. I didn't feel like there was a story being told.
Well,
I felt like he was just playing
What I
music.
meant was your argument about it ending on a period is about song placement. So that particular point aside,
No, I see your point now. Yeah,
it
you're
isn't,
right, in a
like,
way.
the greatest track to me. There are so many more better ones on this album, in my opinion.
All right.
That whatever, I could live without it. And,
So, do we talk about the
So
live?
now let's talk about fast. We can just go into depth. What was your averages for the CD?
I gave this album a 3.6 something.
That's
I don't
funny.
remember the exact.
Because I was actually gonna say, just because some of the songs fade out awkwardly and weirdly, and there was some ups and downs. It was a good CD. It wasn't a great CD. I give it like a 3.72.
I think it was 2. 6.2 was what I just checked my file, but yeah. That's
Yeah.
kind of how I felt on this. There's no classics here. This is like, if you're an Alice Cooper fan, you'll probably really dig it.
Yeah, it's
If
not
you're
gonna.
not an Alice Cooper fan, go listen to some older shit before this, because then you're going to sit here like me and realize you don't know fuck all about Alice Cooper.
I gave it a 3. It was passable. That was it. It was a passable CD. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad, like I said. I'm not going to repeat more than what I usually do. But one thing I did not like about this album, and I can give you, I want people to start thinking about this. I felt like his voice was enhanced to sound a lot more smoother and cleaner. I kind of wanted to hear him as a 69-year-old man.
All right.
And the reason being is when you get to a certain age, your voice does change. And, you know, it's like puberty all over again. Now your voice is worn out and torn and teared. Maybe some of the songs that had more passion would have been better with his voice now because he's gone through a struggle.
But you got to keep in mind, a lot of these older musicians, their voice sounds to start worn out and torn and whatever because they're still drinking, they're still smoking, they're still doing their thing. Where he hasn't been doing that for a long time, so his voice does sound like you look at. And I keep bringing up Ozzy just because like it's
Ozzy's done
very comparable. But in 2010, Ozzy released Scream, and his voice has not sounded that good since probably Sabbath Volume 2 or 3.
Okay.
And like that's when he was sober for a few years. He wasn't drinking, he wasn't smoking, he wasn't doing it, and his voice sounded powerful. It sounded like big, boomy, strong. And then he comes back with fucking recently he's been drinking again, and you can hear the dip in quality of his voice. So for me, age isn't necessarily like the only factor.
But age is a factor because
it's a factor. It makes it brings your voice down lower for sure, but it's not.
If we're doing this 50 years from now still, and we can look at our voices, you can see the change. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because. Fine, his voice maybe does sound like this, but it doesn't. I'm sorry, there's a lot of studio fixing on this.
Yeah, of course.
And it makes sense, it's a CD, but maybe there's a little too much, and I want to hear a bit more. Like, there's certain songs like that. What was that ominous song? It was very, like, monotone, I said. Whatever, you look back, you'll find it, but, like, that song would have been perfect to hear some more, like, some pain, some depth, like, some emotion. I feel like a lot of the songs were just sung. They weren't, he didn't, that was what is missing. This whole CD was missing a lot of emotion for me.
Sure.
All right, and then you wanted to talk about the live stuff.
So
they threw in live tracks, like 5 additional songs that were
made
all
it good. It made it an
jams.
hour and 7 minutes instead of a 30-minute CD.
It wasn't that short.
No, it was an hour and 7 minutes. But
No, with
look
the
at
extra
like if
songs,
you
it
look at the extra songs, some of them are 5 minutes, some are 3. Like this CD was short with a lot of the songs, and you know what? I like the fact he wasn't like the Papa Roach CD, which we did, which was 27 songs.
Yeah, it was like 14.
Holy
of it.
shit, really?
It was 14
Why?
live tracks and 13
no.
studio tracks.
So unnecessary.
See, you know what?
Yeah,
Let's
but they
be
said, hold on. To be fair, that was a double disc.
Yeah.
And disc 1 was the studio album, and
Okay.
disc 2 is the live thing.
I haven't
you
bought
go.
in a CD
And
since.
I know, but even on like Spotify or whatever, like in this day and age, since people don't really listen to albums anymore in that kind of way, like it's rare to really get that experience.
That's why I kind of respect what's his name, Childish Gambino. He said, "Fuck it, I'm not making albums anymore," and I think he's right about it. Like, stop making albums, just release EPs.
I don't agree. I would love to see the art of the album not die, but
But it looks like it will.
if you don't do albums well, then you should have the option to play the singles game if that's what you want to do.
You gotta do that 3-6 Mafia thing. Make the ultimate downloads. Remember
Anyway.
that?
No.
Well, they had that whole thing. Like, they made money off the downloads off the, like, 2 songs. That's
Okay.
how they got super famous and rich again.
So yeah, anyway, I guess that's it for this week.
Thank you. And we're going to be trying some new stuff in the future. We're not going to give you all the details yet.
Yes.
But if you guys have any recommendations or stuff, any real legit comments, please. You know, we have that whole comment space for a reason.
To
And
be
we
fair, if you're a fake or a spammer or a troll, feel free to comment too.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can
please
give
troll
some
because
unlegit
I
comments.
haven't had a good person to make fun of myself in a while. I like people making fun of me. It gives me
Yeah.
something to laugh at when
Also,
I'm bored.
subscribe to the channel if you want to hear
And
more.
like it.
Like the video, share with your homeboys.
He is HSR, I am Jay, and you are Sid,
Am I?
the kid.
Sweet.
All right, so
Come
have
back
a-
next week, and hopefully we have something cool for you. What?
Yeah, have a
Probably.
good week.